What's going on, guys? David here from Sunny's Bounce and Slides. Um, this past weekend, we rented out the famous 18-foot Blue Lagoon water slide, and this is me picking it up. I had to do a solo run, so I decided to bring you guys along with me. And here we go. All right, so the first thing we do once we get there is we go ahead and blow the unit up just to make sure that one, everything looks good, no holes, no scratches. And two, it makes it way easier to pretty much drain the water out from the pool. And so what's going on there is I'm just yanking on one side to make sure that the water slide blows up correctly. Um, and one other important reason why we go ahead and blow the unit up is because it does make it way easier when it comes to folding it and rolling it up. And so once I go ahead and make sure everything looks good, drain the water out, take the stakes out, we go ahead and unzip the two zippers from the back and disconnect the bounce house or the water slide from the blower. There is a technique to this. I go ahead and unzip one side first so that it falls to the opposite side from where it's leaning, so that it goes straight down. And right there, I'm just making sure that it's lined up to the slide area. Well, the back is lined up to the slide area as much as possible, making sure that the majority of the water slide is tucked in, so that when it comes time to roll, the majority of the slide would be inside of the actual roll. And that's done to just to protect the slide and keep it from getting damaged when you go ahead and store it. And then once that is aligned, you go ahead and walk around it. You step on top of the slide as much as possible to get all the air out, and then you begin folding. Now, I wasn't able to get the folding part. My phone fell at that point. I do apologize. I'm gonna work on getting a stand for next video or the future videos, but you got to work with what you get. So this is the next step here, rolling the bounce house up. Now this part is the toughest part of the full pickup. Usually this is, something that you would do with two people. Normally my wife does help me out, but this morning our daughter was a little bit under the weather and she had to take care of her while I went out and took care of business. So this is me rolling the bounce house, as you can see. This is a whole strategy. This thing is super heavy, so you got to use your full body strength. As I'm rolling, I'm applying pressure with my hands and keeping the roll from unrolling with my knees. It may look easy, but this bad boy is heavy. And the camera angle wasn't the best, so I wasn't able to get the end part of the roll, which is the toughest part, because as you can see, or as you can imagine, the bigger the roll, the heavier it gets, right? So that was definitely a challenge. Those water shoes didn't have much grip, so once again, you got to work with what you have, right? So there it goes, and I'm going to show you how the roll turned out. And there you have it, guys. The big old sushi roll. Could have been better, but it's all right. Then you got to pick it up. You got to muscle it up and get it ready to, for the dolly to go underneath it. And to do that, I do have to ratchet strap it because this thing is pretty heavy. All right, now that the water slide is loaded up to the dolly, we then go back to pick up the tarps, which go, of course, underneath the bounce house. We use two of the big tarps for this setup so that the water slide won't get too dirty, and that way we save time when it comes to cleaning and disinfecting the unit. So the way that we do this is we go ahead and just pretty much flip the full tarp over so that the bottom side is facing up, and this is to drain the water, and also so that when we go ahead and fold, the dirty part is folded inside, and it doesn't get the trailer or the back of the truck dirty. Alright, and then we just go back and finish rolling up the tarp. I just bring it, fold it across, that way it makes it easier to roll up. And if you hear my daughter in the background, please excuse her, she's now starting to think that she can talk. Anyhow, so now what we do is just pick up the rest of the equipment, the water hose, the extension cords, the blower, and get everything set up so that we can start loading up into the trailer. Alright, and this technique right here that I use to roll up the water hose and even the extension cords, it does make my life easier to do it this way just because it doesn't get tangled up. I did learn this from the famous Nick Glassett, very good mentor when it comes to this type of, this industry. Big shout out to you, man. And once everything is picked up, we go ahead and just start moving on to loading the trailer. So right here, I am a few yards back. I do have to gain some speed, use my momentum to get that bad boy onto the trailer. It is a pretty steep hill to go up, and very, 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 very tough to do. Now, usually if I have the right shoes on, it wouldn't be this hard, but I'm wearing water shoes. They don't have much grip, and so I was slipping, trying to get that thing up there, but I was able to do it. And once the slide is up and loaded, the rest is a breeze. Alright, and now that the unit's loaded up onto the trailer, we then go back to pick up the rest of the stuff to take over to the trailer and the truck and load everything up. We go ahead and ratchet strap the dolly onto the trailer, make sure that everything's nice and tight, nothing's flying out as we take off. And there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for coming along with me to pick up the Blue Lagoon water slide. And if you're in the Riverview, Tampa Bay, and surrounding areas, give us a call or visit sunnybounce.com, and we'll bring the shine to your party.